All right, just want to go through this week's Excel file that we're going to fill out, do a little elasticity work with. So in coursework in Blackboard, and week 3, up at the top, here's that file. You can open up this elasticity one, and I'm just going to create a couple of formulas. And again, these are the formulas we're going to have to use on the test on the midterm. It'll probably come back on the final too. So here I'm selling some product, right? I've sold, I used to sell 1,000 of them, like say a month or something, and now I'm selling just 900 because I raised the prices. The old price was 100, now the new price is 130. So what's the elasticity of this product? Is it elastic or inelastic is the question. And then how does it affect my total revenue if I increase my prices? So if you know your elasticity beforehand, you can predict if you raise your prices, how it'll affect your total revenue. So again, the elasticity is the percent change of what? Quantity divided by the percent change of price. So I'm just going to do a quick Excel formula here. Let's do the quantity first. Equal, I got to do an open paren because I take the new minus the old. Don't forget the closure paren. Divide by the old. C2 minus B2 divided by B2. And then it's already formatted. It's a 10% change, right? A negative 10% change, which obviously you do that when you're ahead too. So I could copy the formula down, but I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do my new minus my old divide by the old. Again, this is what people do mistakes all the time. This is the wrong formula, right? Because if it comes out to 112,000%, you know there's something wrong. So I'm just going to double click here. And of course, I forgot the one paren there. So don't be like some people at their work and they get a wild number and don't even think about it. Yeah. It 120 typos. So that's the correct formula, right? C4 minus B4 divided by B4. So a 10%, a 30% change in price gives a 10% change in the quantity bought. So we know this is actually a good deal if you're the seller. So the elasticity, the coefficient elasticity again is going to be that quantity, 10% divided by the percent change in price. And it comes out to 0.33. Notice this comes out as a negative, right? And we don't want it as a negative. So again, I want the absolute value here. So again, on the test, basically, you will get a negative number on your calculator. Just don't put the negative number in. Just don't put the dash in. That'll make it absolute. But here in Excel, I'm just going to use the ABS formula. After the equal sign, type in ABS, open paren. Every function's got equal, the name of the function, then m parens. And it comes out to 0.33. So this, if I go back to the textbook, again, this is less than 1, all right? This is one over here. So it's inelastic demand. This is a good thing. Inelastic demand, people got to have what you are selling. So if I change my prices, raise my prices, it's not going to affect how much quantity is sold. It's more of a, again, more higher degree of slope here for the elasticity, looking at the graph, as opposed to elastic demand, which is greater than 1, which we'll try in a second here in the Excel spreadsheet. But let's finish this thing up. What's my total revenue? Because I got my old total revenue, my new total revenue. So total revenue, again, this is on the test. Don't miss this multiple choice. Is just, the quantity of what I sell. I used to sell 1,000 at $100 a piece. So I'm going to multiply this times this 100, right? That will give me my old revenue. And then here I'm just going to copy this across. There's my new revenue, right? So why don't you put in profit here. And then my profit is going to be profit change, I should say. It's going to be my old one, or sorry, my new one minus the old one. So this is really not just profit, it is a change in profit. And then, of course, I should wrap my text to make it look better. These prices should be in dollars. This thing, I always make that mistake. Thump, thump, thump. Great. So let's just see the other case. So again, this one is I go back to my textbook. This one is less than 1, so there's inelastic demand for this one, right? My formulas come out less than 1. So if I want to play around my Excel spreadsheet and say some other thing happened, like say if I raise my price by 30%, but then my quantity goes down to 600, if this was the case, I just put in a 600 here then for my new quantity sold. Here's my new percent change with it. And then there I can see my coefficient of demand is greater than 1, right? It's 1.33. So this is elastic. If I go back to my, right? So again, here, this is what page is, page 82 in the textbook. Now we're looking at this one, where the percent change in quantity is greater than percent change in price. It's greater than 1. And this is a bad case scenario, right? This is where my slope is more flat. So if I go back to the Excel file, I can see that, yeah, my new profits are 78,000. My old profits were 100,000. This was a mistake because basically people switched to some other substitute good. And so my product is elastic. And my profit is now negative 20. And I lost money. So, excuse me, elasticity can tell you a lot of things about what's going on. So this is the file you want to save this file and send it to me. It's a good one to look at before the test. And again, you can always double click on these and look at the formulas, new minus old divided by old. Make sure you have the absolute here. Once in a great while, use the absolute function. There are hundreds of these functions in Excel. Once in a great while, use them. So try it out, send it to me. And this is a good page to review for the test too. Because here, this one down here, this is perfectly inelastic demand, where there is no change in quantity when we raise the price. Notice it's completely up and down, where the elasticity is equal to 0. You see this once in a great while, especially for medical devices that you have to have, like kidney dialysis, right? Some people will die if they don't have kidney dialysis every month. So it doesn't matter what the price, they'd have to pay it. This is why it's regulated a lot of times by the government. But again, you're perfectly inelastic demand. Perfectly elastic demand, if there's any kind of change in price, no one would buy it because there'd be an easy substitute for it. We're going to talk about this in the next couple of chapters, looking at perfectly elastic demand for a lot of farm goods. When farmers want to sell their wheat on the market, basically they have to take what the market tells them what the price is. You know, farmers can't say, oh, I'm going to charge $1 more than what the market wants for my bushel of corn. If they did that, no one would buy their bushel of corn because every other farmer would be selling it at the market price. But we'll talk more about this perfectly elastic demand. So this is Excel spreadsheet, and then the quiz 4 and homework 4 in the My Econ Lab for this week. And any questions, just send me an email.